I want to talk more about the place command. That's kind of like a lesson in itself, and it's very important. So let me demonstrate what I mean, and we'll be talking. Vento, come! Good boy! Good. And yes, we're working with instructions. For sure, I have 2 reactive dogs here, which is good. Good boy. Go, please. Down. Good. So let's talk about place a little bit. And I also want to show you what he is capable of. So let me demonstrate first, and then we're going to talk about why it's so important. Good place. Good. Good. Nice place. Good. Okay. Good. Vento, place. No. What? Place. Place. Good. Almost good. Okay. Good boy. Place. Good. So the important place command has many uses. No, place. So the important place command has lots of uses, especially for a reactive dog like Vento, right? Because number 1, it balances him off. This is his time out place. This is where if he gets too much, right, it's different than a crate, because he has to just lay here, balance himself out. He's allowed to move in this bed. That's not a problem. It's less formal than a regular down command, but he's not allowed to leave it. And the reason I want him in a down is, as you see, it's harder for him to break. I have a dog in the crate right there, a little dog who's very like dog reactive, and see he's watching her because he really wants to go at it with her, but he won't. So this is actually placed under instructions. So thing number 1, it's a timeout. It's shorter term than the crate, of course, because in the crate he's free to do whatever. But let's say, hey, he's getting too much, he can go there. Let's say you don't want him jumping all over the couch and jumping on you when you're watching a movie or relaxing. You could put him in his place, good place, right? Don't forget to reinforce once in a while. And he could stay next to you like a civilized, calm dog. Maybe not for an hour or 2 hours through the movies, but good 10-15 minutes at a time is definitely not a problem for him. He settles down, he works under instructions. The other very important thing is, let's say you don't want him storming at the door when the doorbell rings. This will require practice on your end. So what you have to do is position his place bed kind of in the opposite corner of the house from the front door. And it takes 2 people if possible. When the doorbell rings, one of you tells him to go to his place. You run there with him, you make it exciting, and you use the collar, of course, to guide him because he's going to want to storm to the door. So you run to his place and give him a jackpot of cookies. If you keep doing that, eventually you won't have to run. Good. You won't have to use the collar. I always recommend using those cookies. But what you're going to build up is this kind of it's going to be a habit. The doorbell rings, he runs to the opposite corner of the house and lays down in his place. And by doing that, of course, he cannot be attacking the mailman or jumping on guests, etc., etc. Takes 2 people because we don't want him to break. And then like when the company comes, that's another thing. He could stay for not a couple of minutes, for probably close to a minute, settle down, you gain control, you let him greet people so he doesn't jump on anybody, doesn't give anybody a black eye. He kind of stormed into me today and hit me with his head into my face. I had to ice. So he's an active dog and you want him sort of stable and calm. Good boy, nice place. And the other very cool use for this is if you don't want him begging at a dinner table, what you're gonna do is set this up far enough from the table, but close enough where you could throw treats at him, right? He has to lay down. While you're eating, he could get his treats once in a while, but not from the table, only when he's there. Eventually, you're gonna move this further and further away from a kitchen table. Your goal is to get it about 6 feet away. And then eventually, like my dogs, they don't even need this place anymore. Like it becomes the way for them to beg. What they do is they think if I lay down far enough and wait, she's gonna give me a cookie. So this is another very, very good tool to use. So that's what I wanted to cover here with you. Good boy. I taught him off. So like if he jumps on the couch and starts going crazy, or jumps on the counter, or jumps on anything, puts his feet up, I just say off. I hit the button. And he also knows out. So if he like grabs a sock, I play it, I set it up, right? When he grabs something and I don't want him to have it, I just say out, 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 and I hit the button again on the pager. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully he'll be a very good dog. I'll see you about a week from the pickup, and then I always recommend like brush up and follow-ups, maybe 2 months out. Maybe we could schedule something. He could come for a couple of days. It's just a good way to tune up. Okay.